I am being sued for child support for fathering a child, but I am a woman. A few days ago, I received a notice from an attorney that I am being sued for child support from a woman I have never met or heard of. Context: I am a biological cis woman. I am straight. I have 0 children. I have never done surrogacy, egg donation, or even given birth or come close to it. I contacted the attorney listed on the document to make sure it was legit, and yep, it's legit. He stated that his client came to him to sue me for backdated and future child support for her 15-year-old, and stated that I am the biological father. The attorney had my name, address, and info like my birthday, where I went to high school, etc., yet somehow didn't know that I am a woman. The attorney also stated that the woman is in her 40s, repeated her name to me, and verified with me if I know her. I stated I've never met or heard of her, I am a biological woman who has never had a child, and even brought up that if I was a man and was the bio dad, how would she not be in trouble for statutory rape, as I would have been barely 15 when the child was conceived and she would have been mid-late 20s. The attorney stated that as an attorney, he needs to follow through, and I need to see him and sign the documents and do a DNA test to confirm any relation to the child. I informed the attorney that I can't be the father, but he won't take no for an answer and told me to bring my lawyer to his office tomorrow. Do I need to get an attorney? Can I just show up and be like, look at me, very much a woman and have never given birth, leave me alone. I need some proper guidance on where to go from here. Update. In the beginning, this woman stated that I didn't even have any family, BTW. She told the attorneys, I can give him the family he's never had since he's been alone his whole life, referring to me as he. I went to the attorney's office with my attorney as he requested during our call yesterday, and guess what? The suit was dismissed. It happened very quickly, thank God. I thought we would meet with a judge, because that's how I assumed it worked, but we went to the lawyer's office and met with him and the woman who filed the suit. I got an attorney as I reached out to a friend who lives in my state as a lot of his family are attorneys. Turns out his aunt handles family cases. He got me in touch with her and we spoke. After I told her the situation, she laughed and said she'd do it pro bono just for the entertainment. She knows the other attorney and says he's a geek, so I guess that's a benefit for me since she was more than happy to represent me. We met with the attorney, showed my BC, ID, passport, adoption papers, and my initial BC before adoption. The attorney was frustrated with his client, but very kind to me and my attorney about it. He apologized for the inconvenience. The whole thing was dismissed, and while my attorney initially suggested an order of protection, because this woman was unwell as while we were in the office, she was saying that I was a man who had a sex change to dodge support, which is why she referred to me as he, and said I make more than enough money and my money belongs to her and our child. We ultimately decided against the RO as after all of the insanity, she was honest about how this came about. She, my male cousin, used to work in the same place, over a decade ago. I worked a different shift in a different part of the building. She was a secretary and he was a typical office worker. He is the father of her child, as they had known each other for years prior, but he is also now a convicted violent felon, currently incarcerated, and not on the BC. They are the same age, and they went to school together in the next town over. Since she had access to my information and knew I'm his cousin, as he told her I was his cousin and I worked there, even though I never crossed paths with either of them there. She said she confirmed the connection via FB because he has our family listed, and with that she was able to link my cousin to his father, which lead to my mother as he has her listed as a sister. My mother was always my emergency contact, so she has access to the information. She said since she was able to get my contact information in the easiest way, she figured she could throw a suit at me, get a DNA test, then lead back to him, and she would try to go over him and sue my uncle for support, as he retired from a good job and has disposal income and my cousin is incarcerated. No, I don't understand her thought process because honestly, I have no idea how any of this works, or if that is even a thing she could possibly do. Also, she said she was recently fired, which is why this came up now, and since she knew my cousin was incarcerated and she needed money, she found me via our last name and made a copy of my resume and important info in my file, after all of the theatrics and chaos, etc. She said she finally decided to give up the fight because she realized she couldn't win, especially once I presented my paperwork and mentioned that some of it was my initial adoption birth records before adoption, as that's when she realized there was 0 chance that the DNA test would get her where she wanted with everything.